Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our second live sessions uh, here at Bookkeeping Workflows, and also welcome to our LinkedIn connections and also our Facebook members. Okay, so for tonight, our topic is all about um, finding your perfect fit, exploring bookkeeping niches for maximum impact. So this is our topic for our session for tonight. So this is a 1 hour session, and tonight Jessa Espayos will be joining with me. So she will answer some of my questions regarding how she choose her bookkeeping niche. And hopefully some of you will inform me in the chat that you can join the discussion. Okay, so before we start, um, can you type one if you already have your bookkeeping niche? So please type one. All right, type one. And then, okay, so many of you already typed one. And can you also type what particular niche are you in right now? So what particular niche? Okay, so okay, please type. Okay, so Weng type number one, Marites number one. So what is your carrot niche right now? So if there's carrot niche, so there is a previous niche like me. Okay. So what is your carrot niche right now? Can you type it in the chat box? Okay. E-commerce, Janelle is e-commerce. Okay. Coffee shop and restaurant. Nice. That's good news, Lori Lee. E-commerce for love. And then for Josephine, her niche is clean up and catch up. Francia is e-commerce. Abigail e-commerce. Real estate property management for Josel. Then zero Shopify payroll, very good. US real estate long-term rental using QuickBooks Online. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your current niche, and hopefully you will be successful in this in the niche that you have chosen right now. So our first question here is, why find your perfect niche? No. So for me, as I niche down to real estate, so that my first chosen niche is real estate bookkeeping, and real estate bookkeeping for residential real estate investors, not for managers, not for construction, but residential real estate investors who who have rental properties in the US. So in the US, I am very specific that investors should be in the US because I don't know how to bookkeep for real estate in other countries, just in the US. So why find your perfect niche? So first, you have more focus. So more focus means better service because you are not you are not working with different industries or different software. So for example, you focus more on QuickBooks. So you have more time to allot in knowing the workflows inside QuickBooks Online. And then, for example, you focus more on Shopify bookkeeping. So you can go into the details of Shopify bookkeeping, right? So that means you can also discover complicated problems in restaurant bookkeeping, and that way you can better serve your clients. Okay, so that is number one. Then second is your marketing and networking, because you have a focus. So that means that you will market, your target market is very clear. So for example, Marites is having a niche on Shopify, store owners or sellers. So her target market are Shopify, not Amazon, not real estate. So Marites should know where does her target market is very active, for example, in social media and also in networking. Because store owners also, they network with other store owners or with their customers, right? Then third is you can develop a specialized expertise. It says here specialized. So you're just like for example, you're just like a a worker in the construction site that is specializing in electricity. Okay? So a common worker cannot do electrical work except the electrician, right? So the same thing with property management bookkeeping, only property management bookkeeper can do property management, can do best for property management bookkeeping, because they allot more time to study, more time to experience property management bookkeeping. So that is the third importance. Why should we find our perfect niche? Okay. Then fourth is you can attract high value clients. Okay, you can attract high value clients because your marketing, your networking is targeted. And if you specialize on something, you can charge a higher rate compared to just general bookkeeping because it is specialized. It's higher rate because you already you already put so many efforts. You already put so many time, and also you also invest money to study. You also invest more time to discover the workflows. For example, for clean up and catch up bookkeeping, right? So maybe Josephine has done more than 10 or 20 clean up and catch up projects already, because that is her focus, not only setup of new QuickBooks Online or setup of new Zero account, but her focus is clean up and catch up. So after those tens or hundreds of clean up, Josephine has already created or developed her workflow on how to clean up a very messy books, right? Okay, do you agree? And last point here is you can build a fulfilling career. You can build yourself as a very specialized person handling Shopify bookkeeping, or a very specialized person handling coffee shops, cafe, or restaurants. So every time there is someone who asked me, who can you refer? Somebody who knows how to do restaurant and cafe bookkeeping. I would refer Laurel, right? I would refer Laurel instead of Jessa, because Jessa is not into cafe and restaurant bookkeeping. Okay? So those are our five very important pointers why we should look or find our perfect uh, niche. Okay, so this is the first one. Okay, so kindly drop our Zoom background, guys, in the chat box. Next, so what are popular bookkeeping niches as of today? Or you have mentioned in the chat those very popular niches. So it also shows here those niches. So we have e-commerce, and if you niche down in e-commerce, you have Shopify, Amazon, or WooCommerce, eBay, Walmart. So those are actually some of the sub-industries inside the e-commerce industry. But you can choose only Shopify. But there are actually clients, many clients who are e-commerce sellers. Sell on Shopify. They also sell on Amazon. So e-commerce bookkeeping is already good as a niche. Okay. But there are also many sellers who only sell on Shopify or in Amazon only. So real estate. So this is my niche, but I have this like a sub industry inside real estate. So I only cater real estate investment companies and also real estate property owners. Okay. Property management, property managers, I have done bookkeeping for property manager, but I am not niching down to property management bookkeeping. Okay, nonprofit. So there are many nonprofit. So we have clients that are not nonprofit in the US, in Canada, in Europe, who are also using QuickBooks Online or Zero Accounting software for their bookkeeping for nonprofit. Actually, for nonprofit, it's quite simple, but you also need to learn the proper workflows of nonprofit bookkeeping. So you have to check this during your discovery call. So at least you have the general knowledge on nonprofit, but on a case-to-case basis, so you have to talk to your clients, the executive directors of the nonprofit, on how they want to record their transactions. But it's just the same. They also set up the bank accounts and the credit cards of the nonprofit organization, and you bookkeep from there. So but of course you have to know because in nonprofit their income is coming from grants, from projects, sometimes from big funders. So and that is it is in this discovery call where you have to know the details on how to record their transactions. Okay. So service providers, consultants, creatives, marketing agencies, lawyers, doctors, photographers, there are so many. Okay. So plumbers, contractors, electricians, and many of them needs bookkeeping services. Okay? So there's a lot. So don't just stick to the niches that you have heard. You always heard from from your colleagues, but also you can explore that. Okay? So later I will show you some of the tips on how we can choose our bookkeeping niche. Okay. And then we also have hospitality. So this is where Laurelie belongs, her niche, like restaurant, cafes. So at bookkeeping workflows, we also do restaurant and cafe bookkeeping for sushi bar, for pizza and coffee shop. Yeah. But I am not niching down actually very specific to those. But my main niche really right now is real estate investors that are into property investments. Okay, so finding what resonate with you. Okay, so this is one of my top reason why I choose my niche. So right now, I would like to ask Jessa. So in your current niche right now, so does this niche resonates about you or about your family or about your background, your expertise or your experience? Wait, wait, let me. Okay, Jessa?
Okay. Can you hear me po?
Yes.
I choose real estate bookkeeping because of a really personal experience from my childhood. Maybe some of you have seen the story I shared on Facebook. Ate Melona, I think you remember I've mentioned it before. We actually lost our family home to foreclosure, and I still remember that day so clearly. I was just a kid when I accidentally came across the bank's letter saying we had to leave the house. I was devastated at that time. My mom had kept it all hidden from us, trying to protect my siblings and me from the financial stress so we could focus on school. My dad had already passed away by then, but I grew up watching him run a really successful bakery and furniture business. He was actually the first in our small town to do that. But when he decided to invest in more properties and use our home as a collateral, things started to go downhill. The debts piled up, and without proper bookkeeping to manage everything, he just couldn't recover. Sadly, Ate Mel, we ended up losing everything. That experience really stuck with me, and it's the main reason why I'm so passionate about helping real estate investors today. I don't want anyone to go through what we went through. I want to keep them their finances in check, manage their properties, and make sure they can succeed without losing everything they work so hard for. So yeah, that's the story behind why I choose real estate as my niche.
Wow, thank you very much, Jessa. Wow. So I'm actually touched with your story. Yeah, I saw it on Facebook and also I think on LinkedIn. Yeah, so that really something that resonates personally with Jessa. Thank you, Jessa, for sharing. What about the others? So can we ask Josephine why you um choose catch up and clean up bookkeeping as your niche?
Okay, clean and cut up. It's because um, I will have more exposure with accounting and bookkeeping process, and also mentorship from the booking firm, and also able to have a workflow to speed up the process. Initially, my niche was e-commerce, then RE. Then I had this client that offered uh, clean up. So I saw the potential and what the potential with the clean up and catch up. Then maybe later I can niche down because I would be more familiarized with that business, including payroll and tax aspects.
Wow,
That's
thank you for sharing, Josephine. So actually, mentorship is very important. So if you have someone that a particular experience that um brings you to clean up and catch up bookkeeping, that's very good. And also if you can get continuous mentorship for that or online resources that you can get. So, for example, are there online resources about cleanup and ketchup? I think there are so many online resources. Online resources for restaurant or cafe bookkeeping or for e-commerce. There's a lot, right? So that's actually one very important like factor why people are niching down to that particular industry or task or software. Okay? So we're not only talking here industry as your niche. It could be a task, it could be a software, it could be a place where small business owner do their business. Okay, so what about Tina? What is your current niche right now, and why do you choose that niche?
But yeah, actually TL wala pa pa. I want to niche in RE kasi parang madami talaga ngayon. Boom talaga ang mga property management or madaming nagpa-rent. So sa RE, 'di ba RE madami siyang ano. So, yun. Wala pa po akong client.
It's okay. It's okay even if you don't have your own client yet. But what is your reason why you are about to choose real estate as your niche?
Oh, I think based upon research and looking at the net, there's a boom in property management or renting out properties. So there are so many people who rent out their properties and don't know how to do their books. So since there are a lot of them, I think there's more chances that I can get clients in RE.
Oh, okay,
So yun.
actually that's very good reason. So there's a booming industry right now for vacation rental, properties, Airbnb, Birbo. So not only they can, if they're having vacations, they will not rent hotels anymore, but Airbnb properties. So hopefully our house in Cebu will be Airbnb soon. Nice. So thank you, Tina, thank you, Josephine, thank you. Okay, so let's continue. So thank you guys for sharing. So okay, so okay. So finding what resonates with you. So first you have to assess your strength and interests. So for Francia, um, can I am I capable of doing real estate bookkeeping? Am I interested of doing real estate bookkeeping? Or rather, I would do bookkeeping for photographers. So you have to assess yourself. You have to evaluate also what are your capabilities and most especially what are you passionate about. So it's very important for me. Passion is very important because if you are passionate or you love what you are doing and this niche really resonates you, so you are going to give more time, valuable time and effort to study and to really put an experience for this particular niche. Okay? And then third one is you have also to consider your past experiences. So let's say Catherine works before for in her corporate job. Just an example. So she works in the construction industry. So she knows the ins and outs of transactions in the construction industry. So that's the reason why she chose bookkeeping for a construction business. So you have your different experiences in the past or even your current experiences. If you can connect that to a certain niche in bookkeeping so that you will not start from scratch. Okay? So because it's also challenging if you start from scratch. Okay? So better um use your current or past experiences and then develop your past experiences. So what about you mentioned about Tina mentioned about research market demand. So actually she said it's booming. So you can see that renting properties is everywhere. It's in UK. So I heard a lot from in UK, in Australia, in the US. So any part of the world, landlords or rental property owners are doing renting their properties. But of course, you have to check if there's a demand in that particular market. So you can see that obviously, but make sure you also conduct your own market research. So, for example, Shopify is booming. Yes, it's everywhere. In the Philippines, Shopee, Lazada is really like every day. So neighbors are buying online. So it's really booming. So just research the market and then see what's the potential in offering bookkeeping services for this particular industry or niche. Okay, so okay. So real world success, bookkeeping for real estate. Okay. So I'm not saying that I am that very successful on real estate bookkeeping, but with for me with the more than 90 projects that bookkeeping projects that we have done. So I think 50% of that are real estate bookkeeping projects. So, and that actually makes me and my husband and our team, our partners, like we can say that we are experts in the field of real estate bookkeeping for residential estate bookkeeping or industry. So when you are very focused on that particular industry, so that means that you can develop expertise in that particular industry. So we started real estate bookkeeping in April 2022. So after 2 years of doing real estate bookkeeping since April 2022, so we learn the specialization, the task of um, setting up real estate properties in the balance sheet, how to set up that because we have worked with accountants in the US, the accountants of our clients in the US. So we also know how to record depreciation for rental properties. We also know about bonus depreciation because we always talk about that with our clients. So we always consult, and there are also many times that there are discussions with the client and the accountants of our clients. So you can learn a lot. So that's very important thing that if you focus on real estate, definitely you can develop an expertise in real estate bookkeeping. And also, you can also, if you focus on bookkeeping for property management, so you have time, no? You have time to study, you have time to the actual experience on how to use the software, on how to use on how to bookkeep for property management companies because it's different. The way property management companies records their income and expenses is different with recording the income and expenses of real estate investors who owns the property. Okay, and then yes, third one, you grow a client base of rental property owners. So many of our clients who are rental property owners, they referred us to their fellow rental property owners because they see that we can do rental property bookkeeping. Okay, and then finally, you can increase income through specialized services. So on our part, we also do tax preparation for rental property business. Okay, in the US. Because it's very, when you are doing, there are also software for tax preparation. So when you are very familiar with uh the transactions, the accounts of rental property. So it's very easy also to enter that into the tax software. So you can also specialize on that later, okay? Okay, then how to test your niche. Okay, so this is very important because your niche actually you can change it. So if you see that this particular niche does not work for you, then you can change your niche later. But don't change your niche every other week, okay? So give a meaningful time to test your niche. So Jessa, how long have you been doing niching? You have chosen your niche and then so far, is it effective? Are there like when you're connecting with rental property owners, are they responsive or what are the challenges that you are facing right now and what are the things that you can say that it's working?
Um, so far, for me, real estate is working, and I've talked to a couple of real estate investors in LinkedIn, and they are responding well for that. But I didn't get client yet. Maybe sooner.
But how can you how so far how's their response?
Um, the recent investor I talked to, he had already his bookkeeper, but our conversation goes well.
Nice, nice. So you're very busy on LinkedIn or where what platform are you connecting?
I'm connecting in LinkedIn only for now, but I'm planning to dive into Upwork maybe later after I optimized 100%.
Okay, that's very nice. Okay. Okay, so what about Eder? So right now, what is your current niche and how did you come up with choosing that particular niche? Is this because you have experience or that resonates with your personality?
Yes, good evening, Mel and Jessa and everyone. Actually, my niche, I've chosen my niche because I have my traditional business right now regarding construction and rental. Based on the experience I have, I would be an expert ano, assisting, no, business owners in outside of the Philippines. Actually, it would be a different only on the tax preparation, but the same chart of accounts and the process of construction and rentals here in the Philippines.
Okay, so thank you, Eder, for sharing. That's very nice. I know Eder is has her own hardware store. Nice. That's very nice. And also her own rental property. So you know how to do bookkeeping because she's doing bookkeeping for her own rental property. So that's really nice. Thank you. Okay, so how to test your niche? So you can start by taking small projects in different industries. Okay? And then when you found out, okay, so let's say for example, right now you're taking on different any industry, but of course your main target is e-commerce. But here comes a photography business who needs bookkeeping. Okay, just get it. And then here comes another project. Just get it. And then if you see that there's something that is you are very passionate, so you have to weigh in. Okay, and you can choose. So for example, why I choose real estate? So aside from personal experience, just like Jessa, I grew up in a construction site because my mother owns a canteen selling food for the construction workers. So I grew up in the construction site. We live in our canteen. So that's my number one reason. And second one, our second client was real estate investor. And the first few months of cleanup projects was really very challenging, but then we are able to organize the books of our client. So that's the reason in April, that is where we started real estate bookkeeping. And then later, I know how to apply for jobs for real estate investors. So they're like putting job posts. So I know I can relate to them. I can explain to them uh oh, their pain points and the solution to their problem because I already have the experience for real estate bookkeeping. Second, you can conduct free case studies for small business. Okay, so you know someone, she has clients, okay, or he has clients. You can reach out to them. Okay, so for example, Francia, can I collaborate with you for at least 1 or 2 weeks for free for your client, and then I can help you with bookkeeping. Okay? So you can also do that. So third one, you can gather feedback and assess what you enjoy. So you have to always check. So do I really like bookkeeping for restaurant? Or do I really like bookkeeping for electricians? Or for digital marketing agencies. So you have to assess. Okay? And then if your decision is I will change the industry that I will serve because I feel very passionate on this industry, then you can change it. Okay? But changing it does not doesn't mean that you are not doing bookkeeping for other niche anymore. You can always do that. Okay? So for example, more than 50% of our clients are not real estate they are not real estate investors. So our clients are more than 50% of our clients are Shopify, restaurant, digital marketing agencies, they are photographers, they are contractors. Okay? So do you get the point? Do you get the point? So you can also have in the sideline other industries, you're bookkeeping for other industries. Okay? And that's actually the good thing about having a profile on Upwork, because in on Upwork you can have a general profile and two niches on Upwork. Yeah, so that's very good, no? If you are doing if you have a profile and also applying for jobs on Upwork. Then finally, look for trends in client demand. So if you see that there's a demand in cryptocurrency bookkeeping, why not? Why not study cryptocurrency bookkeeping? If you see a demand in restaurant bookkeeping, so why not? Why not you go into restaurant bookkeeping? As long as you have the time to study and you have the time to put into actual experience for that particular niche. Okay? Okay. Okay. So, this one is one of our few slides left. So, take action, define your niche today. So, I'm asking one more question to our audience. So, can you type in the chat box the niche that you have chosen right now? Can you type for those who uh come late late? Sorry. Amazon, very good. Yeah, that's very good niche, Geraldine. Amazon bookkeeping. Okay, what about the others? What about the others? Amazon bookkeeping. Okay. So you have to take time to reflect on your strength. See, Lori Lee is still cafe and restaurant business, real estate and e-commerce. That will work actually. Rowena is Shopify bookkeeping. Yes. Actually, that's my favorite, real estate and e-commerce. Yeah. Because if you always think that your niche is real estate or e-commerce, then if that's in your mind, then you will look for clients that is real estate and e-commerce. So on LinkedIn, you have to find those people on LinkedIn or in Facebook. Okay. E-commerce, Shopify in the US. Yes, very good. Okay. Non-profit, e-commerce, Francia, you have two. So you have to reflect, Francia. Okay. So test first your top one, and then later and then later you can change it. But remember, it does not mean that you will not do bookkeeping for other industries, okay? Because sometimes there are offers, there will come projects. So for me, I don't say no to projects if there are offers to me. I will do it while I'll continue my niche, my bookkeeping niche. Okay, and then Amazon Bookkeeping US for Abigail. Thank you. Thank you. So explore industries that excite you. So Abigail, can you unmute yourself? How does Amazon Bookkeeping excites you? Abigail. Where's Abigail? I'll stop share. Then we'll find Abigail. And then also Geraldine. So where's Abigail and Geraldine? Where are they?
Geraldine here.
Okay, go. Go, Geraldine.
Hi, Coach. Sorry late po ako eh. Galing ako kay Joe.
No,
Ganun.
sure, sure, sure.
Um, how does Amazon bookkeeping excites me? I have a bit of a background doing Amazon. My last job was in a digital marketing agency, which primarily serves Amazon sellers. So I have a bit of a background on doing some product listings and all. Medyo hindi lang po accounting yung naging role ko doon. Pero it expanded my skills in ways na I think that would benefit directly our
Mhm.
business owner. So napili ko talaga siya. Actually, yun po yung I got curious yung nung pandemic sa e-commerce, and then that curiosity has led me to really explore in learning the world of Amazon. Medyo, yung Amazon po mismo talagang medyo very very challenging siya. Yung accounting side, same lang din naman po, kaya lang medyo may complexity lang in, yun dun sa kanyang settlement. And yun, may mga time difference po dun sa pag-record or pag-recognize natin ng income and expenses. Kasi hindi niya nire-respect yung per month, basta yung 2-week period lang. So in my experience there, nagtitingin-tingin lang ako dun sa reports while still doing my job as social media manager doon and executive assistant. So yeah.
So
Ngayon po, balik
but you're into practicing Amazon bookkeeping right now.
right now. Balik loob, coach.
Okay.
Bookkeeping po.
That's really nice, Geraldine. So actually, in Amazon, you can see the settlements, but the settlement spans months. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a workflow on how to split the settlement. Uh, for the particular month, the settlement is for.
Okay.
So we
Is
have a bookkeeping workflow also for that, especially for clients
okay,
who
so
want their books to be in accrual basis.
all
Yeah.
right. That sounds interesting, coach. Gusto ko po malaman yun.
Yes. So you
Ako po
have to
yun.
learn. You have to learn Amazon bookkeeping. Especially
Yeah,
you know how to navigate Amazon reports
Amazon
already.
Seller. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, coach. I'm
Okay.
actually involved in RUOL, so siguro po magiging coach namin kayo.
Yes, so we're using A2X in
Ayan.
for Amazon bookkeeping. You can also use Link by Books, but manually you can do that.
Okay.
So our mentor in RUL can teach you very well.
Okay po, sige.
Thank you,
Sige po.
Geraldine.
Thank you rin po, coach, and everyone.
Thank you. Okay, so can we call on who else?
Miss Abigail.
Abigail, where's Abby? Okay, I think Abby is okay. So Abigail, maybe she's doing something. Okay, can we ask Francia? Francia, so you have two choices, non-profit and then e-commerce. So can you tell us more about why
Yeah.
you choose two and not one?
Actually, I'm into non-profit right now, bookkeeping, for almost since 2011. That's why I want to pursue it because I
So,
have already
so right now, Francia, you are working in a non-profit organization.
yes, yes.
I see. What kind of non-profit organization?
Actually, it's inside our church,
Mm,
so quite big.
mm-hmm.
So I think I just want to pursue it
I
because I have
see.
already background.
So that's your number one.
Yes,
Okay. That's good, Francia. So
and
actually,
e-commerce, and
church
also
bookkeeping, there's a lot of clients
yes,
in the US who are looking for bookkeepers who knows how to do bookkeeping for churches.
yes,
So better a lot time to study how
mhm.
to do that in the US, for example.
And also the e-commerce also as well is I have also background doing. I used to work or prepare the book of my brothers and sisters in their business. That's why.
Nice, nice. Okay. So you make that as a career, Francia, okay? And
Yes.
good luck to your chosen niche. Okay? Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so let's go back to our final, not so final slide. Wait, okay. So explore industries that excite you. So I think Francia is excited in Francia, then Geraldine. They are excited in e-commerce or nonprofit because they saw already how to do uh church bookkeeping, or Geraldine saw how Amazon works, right? The reports in Amazon. Then the next one is network with professionals in your chosen niche. Okay. So if you know that Jessa is into real estate, so you have to be friends with Jessa. Okay. So if you know that Edna is into real estate, so you also have to connect with Edna. So that's the reason why there's always can I connect with you? So you have to connect with same people, the same people who have same industry that you work for. Okay? And then also keep learning and evolving. So because there comes a point that you started with real estate bookkeeping, but then later you can add more niches that you can serve because you are already an expert. So after real estate, you can serve Amazon bookkeeping, restaurant bookkeeping, or hotel bookkeeping. So no one will no one will say no. No, Tina, you just choose real estate bookkeeping. No. You can be an expert later on in different fields. Okay? So, Tina is smiling actually. Yes. So your niche is not just a way to grow your business. Okay. So it says here that it's a way to bring your unique strengths and passion to life. So we always remember those beautiful words. Okay. Those very inspiring words. So your niche is your passion. So because it's your passion, you are really going to be serious and put extra time and effort to be an expert in your chosen niche. Okay. So we have a question here. Is it all right to niche down to a more specific market to be a specialist? Yes. Does it require a year to decide on this? No. At least 3 months. You test it for 3 months. Okay. So 1 year. So 1 year, I think it's very long for me. In my experience, I test my niche for 3 months. So I started looking, I don't know, not 3 months, 4 to 5 months in my case. Then later I decided that I will focus more on real estate because before I don't have really very specific focus, just service based because they advise me because I'm not a bookkeeper before. I'm not an accountant. So just choose a very with simple transactions. But after 5 months, I haven't got any client from the service base. So my first real estate client. So that's the reason why I choose real estate investors, which has more advantage, specialists for general. Of course, it's very more advantage to be a specialist for me because you will be an expert and then in that particular industry and how many as much as possible that could cater to be effective in this field. That I don't have very specific numbers on how many. If that's your question, Jocelyn. Okay? So, okay, next. So, oh my God. So, thanks for joining. So we're at the end of our slides. So before we end our slides, so may I ask Jessa once again. So in the next 2 years, how do you how do you find yourself as a real estate bookkeeper?
Mm, actually, I'm a very what do you call this? Like my father, I'm I have a lot of what do you call this one? I'm so nervous. I'm a visionary person. I mean, after a couple of years, I see myself as an agency owner handling real estate bookkeeping for residentials and for property management owners.
Mhm. So that's the reason why you're very you share many of your time for that niche that you have chosen. Okay, thank you, Jess. So what about Eder? So Eder, how do you see yourself in the span of 2 years as a real estate bookkeeper? So it's not obvious, guys, that we're into real estate, okay? So I am a real estate bookkeeper, then Jessa want to be a real estate bookkeeper, and also Eder.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Actually, Mel, 5 years from now, my vision is to have my own agency, uh, holding different niche of different accountants and bookkeepers in my agency. It would be resources, actually. It's not only bookkeeping, but catering related work with bookkeeping and accountants.
Okay, thank you, Heather. And thank you, everyone. So I'll remove them temporarily on Spotlight. And I would like to call at least three people who would like to share their takeaway about our very short session tonight. So just raise your hand if you want to say something about our learning session for tonight. Okay? So love, can you give your takeaway, love? Is it a yes, love?
Yes po.
Okay. Who else, guys? Novi, can you share your takeaway? Is it a yes, Novi? Novi's where's no? Okay, it's a yes. Okay, wait. Let's call another one. So who else? Chona, can you share your takeaway?
Sure po.
Okay. So love first.
Takeaway for today's webinar, I have realized that we don't have to be that overwhelmed when we are trying to discover the niche that we will pursue, but at least we do one step at a time.
Mhm.
Small steps are very important, as Miss Melona have mentioned that we need to familiarize transactions like that because it will help on the future.
Thank you, love. I like that takeaway. Yes. So don't be overwhelmed. Okay? Because if you're overwhelmed, how can you choose happily your niche? Okay, so thank you, love. So what about Novi?
For me, Miss Mel, my takeaway in this meeting is never, don't box yourself in. I mean, don't try to learn one only, and discover what is your niche. Just like Love said, don't be overwhelmed with so many niches that are available, and never stop learning po.
Yes, yes, never stop learning. Yes, because even those who are already expert, they are still studying theoretically and in actual practice. Okay? So thank you, Novi. Thank you. And lastly, Chona.
Yes, good evening, everyone. My takeaway for tonight is that we should focus first in one niche, and then after some months, when we get to be an expert in that niche, we could upskill by having another niche again. And this session reminded me to always connect not only to the target niche, but also to our fellow bookkeepers, because, of course, we can learn a lot from them too. That's it.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So we can always be an expert in other field, okay? But make sure that you are putting quality time to your chosen niche. Okay? So to wait. So, okay. Okay, so thanks for joining. So, see you soon at our next live sessions. And please follow us on YouTube. So, just look for at Bookkeeping Workflows. You can also follow us on TikTok. So, we are on TikTok, giving also valuable contents on TikTok. Then also Facebook group. Okay, don't follow the Facebook page, but join the Facebook group. And make sure if you join the Facebook group, you answer the membership questions to be admitted. Okay, and also follow our um LinkedIn page. Okay, and it's also called Bookkeeping Workflows. Okay, and happening this Thursday on our FB group. So this will be September 26, 7:30 p.m. Our speaker is Maria Bernadette Francisco. She's an accounting BA and also an aspiring property management bookkeeper. And she's already a bookkeeper right now, and she will share her story about from spreadsheet to success, my life as a virtual accounting admin. Okay, so hope you can join us this coming Thursday. Make sure to join our Facebook group to see the details of our from spreadsheet to success learning session. And then also, you can follow me on Rise Up Online Learning this year. So I'm a mentor at Rise Up Online, one of the mentor. So I'm mentoring Canadian bookkeeping with Miss Cheryl De Los Santos here. I'm also mentoring client getting on Rise Up Online and also A2X e-commerce accounting. And these are all the courses, bundled courses on Rise Up Online Learning this year. Okay. And then finally, no more. No more. Okay. So thank you guys for joining us today, tonight. And we hope that you can also attend in our next learning session. And then please type in the chat box what are the topics that you would like to be our session in the coming days. Okay, just type it in the chat box. Your suggestion, then we can always make way for those learning session. Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you, thank you.